talk about the badass that is Jackie Massey. For me, the election, I think, is going to come down to Jackie Massey or Janet Wilson. So I only have one vote, right? So out of these 21 candidates, we got to pick one person to vote for. And I like a lot of them. A lot of them have a lot of promising things. I like that Tony Pemberton. I didn't like how he reacted to something I had said to him. I said I was inspired by something he said, and then he was like, well, that's not my fault. I'm telling you, I was inspired about it. And so now he's pretending he had nothing to do with it. So is that the kind of mayor that Tony Pemberton is going to be? He's going to inspire all of us to go do something, then we go do it, and they go, well, I didn't tell you that. That's your fault. What the hell are you doing, you know? Can't you listen to yourself? Motherfucker, you're trying to inspire us, and we go do it, then, you know, I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen, and I had some issues. Anyways, okay. So, Jackie Massey, this is about Jackie Massey. So, Jackie Massey is the Oklahoma cowboy from Comanche. He's been around for a year and a half. He's very impressive. He's a badass. He's a debater. He's also working class. He knows how to do a bunch of shit. He can work with his hands. So he's, you know, does woodwork and can do shop and just a whole bunch of shit. He says that he also can break dance. So he can break dance. Somebody said when he said he could break dance, let's see it, right? So he probably could have done that. He says he could change diapers. He could cook. He can analyze policy. So he's got like a whole list. Basically, he's a fucking badass at everything. So that's awesome. I want a badass at everything. He was also passionate about the 866 homeless kids in Pueblo. So I wish I had actually recorded that, because for once, somebody spoke very loudly about the homeless kids around here. Everybody keeps on saying, oh, the homeless want to be homeless. They love their homelessness, really. The 866 kids love to be homeless, huh? Maybe they don't know any better. That you fucking pricks don't give a shit if they have a home or not. And so they're surviving, they're doing their thing, and so that's really what I liked about Jackie Massey, was not only did he say, hey, there's 800, 900 kids in Pueblo City that don't have a home, they're couch surfing, but they're still going to school. They're still doing their thing. You can't mess with their flow, right? So that's some resiliency. Isn't that some tough skin? So these homeless kids don't have a secure place to live, but they're still going to school, still listening to teachers, still doing the, you know, all the projects and all the bullshit, trying to get a good grade so they can graduate. That's amazing. That's amazing. He basically says, look at how formidable these homeless kids are. And if these kids can fight as hard as they are fighting now, we give them opportunities, we give them, you know, a society with lots of jobs, lots of opportunities, they will excel. He also talked about we need to be the corn planters today. So I like those. I like farming references. We need to be corn planters. We need to plant the seeds today. That's good. There was one question he kind of stumbled on a little bit, but it was a weird question. They asked him what are the 3 most pressing issues facing Pueblo City, and then Taylor Voss just changed it. We're looking for 3 words. So lack of pizza and what? So he just said lack of workforce. I think they wanted 3 separate issues, and then he was like lack of workforce, and then he kind of was like, well, look, you know, what I'm saying is lack of skills for a workforce. So he's all about VOTEC, VOTEC, VOTEC. We need vocational training. We need technology. Technology is my thing. So VOTEC is just working man skills. Yeah, working man skills. You know, that's I like working man skills, because a working man can build a house. You know, ivory tower person can bullshit politics, but ultimately, who do you want? Do you want somebody that can do something for you, or do you want somebody that can bullshit, you know? So the Oklahoma cowboy, he comes out strong, defending all those homeless kids, and he's real passionate about them, saying, look how, you know, look at their character. And then he's sitting there saying we need workforce development, we need vocational, we need technology, vocational technology training. He says we need a festival for democracy, get on up. He's talking about how we're going to get our hands on the levers of power. He's talking to the beast. He's talking to the common people. He's actually showing a sense of politics better than everybody else. So get our hands on the levers of power. So we need a do-everything mayor. I'm not for sure what we could do about that. Yes, we could do that. Yes, we could do that. He wants us to say we can all do this. So the Oklahoma cowboy, right? He's also promoting outsider connections over insider connections. He's saying you need an outsider. You need somebody who's not been tainted or corrupted from the inside. You need outsider. That's exactly what we need here. If somebody is from the outside, then they will be corrupt. An insider, they'll be corrupt as fuck. You mentioned that 80% of the health care is indignant care. and he's talking about the food deserts, the crime, bad diets, poverty. So he's talking about how come tourism isn't going to work. We have all the problems, right? High crime, drug problems. Why would anybody want to come around here? And then he mentions something about taking apart a boat. You have a boat, and if you take it apart, you take all the old parts and you put new parts in. But you could take all those old parts and then build the original boat that you had to begin with. So you have, what, 2 boats? I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about there. We're building boats for everybody. We're going to have a tide that lifts all boats or a tide that lifts all yachts. Jackie Massey is for Tony Pemberton's recycling company, so that's good. He gave a shout-out to Tony Pemberton. I think it's called Roots. So Pemberton's like, hey, I don't know if he charges people to recycle there, if he actually pays for the stuff. If Pemberton is able to make money off of a recycling company, well, he could incorporate trash, I would think. So Jackie Massey also criticized Dennis Flores' stupid idea of mandatory trash. Yeah, Dennis, what a progressive you are. We have homeless and goat heads and heroin addicts, and here he wants to just talk about let's mandate, let's make trash mandatory. Everybody must have trash and throw it on their lawns, or I forget the exact wording. Jackie Massey, his culture, his heritage, being Choctaw, Chickasaw, he hates waste and stuff. So he even says, let's take dumpsters around to communities. It's too expensive to get rid of the trash. People don't want to not throw their trash away because they love trash. It costs money to throw your shit away. And they sell tickets. The city council sells tickets. Come up here and get your $15 tickets. If you get a $15 ticket, it's a good deal. Get a $15 ticket, then you can throw your dryer away in the trash. Or just take your dryer and go ahead, throw it into the damn hills, because who the fuck wants to pay $15 to give something? No, fuck it. Just put it in the hills. Nobody's going to do nothing. Put it in the alley, right? So taking dumpsters around, that allows people to go ahead and give up their trash. He's been a part of this. So Jackie Massey has seen communities take dumpsters around, and the people love. They can't wait to throw trash into it. There's big dumpsters over here at this festival. This guy had a dumpster. I enjoyed it. I did have trash that I wanted to get rid of. When I first got here, I was having to take stuff to the, to dumpsters. So it should not be too expensive to get rid of trash, especially when we can make money for getting trash. He talked about CBD industrial waste, so he's for turning trash into electricity. Of course we should be for turning trash into electricity. He said we need a city-owned homeless shelter. He said that very loud and proud. That was right after, I want to say, Tom Croschel. Tom Croschel was sitting there saying, well, we've had homeless people since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time, huh? We didn't even have people at the beginning of time, but we've had homeless people somehow. So he's basically saying, we've had homeless people forever, so we're never going to fucking be able to take care of everybody. Get the fuck out of here. Would he allow one of his kids not to have a home? Would he allow himself not to have a home? All you got to do is make them the other, right? They're not us. So Jackie Massey is the only one giving a shit about those homeless kids, the only one calling for a city-owned homeless shelter. Why don't Pueblo City have a homeless shelter? Because it's a bunch of fucking right-wing conservative fuckers. And they don't give a shit about other people. They don't care. It's dog-eat-dog capitalism. All it takes is compassion, and instead we're going to what? Pay $700 a day to put them in jail? You're creating an incentive for them to break a window just so they can get some shelter in jail. Jackie Massey, like Massey Ferguson, so Jackie Massey in San Diego, there's a homeless campground. And so he's throwing out ideas. Let's get a homeless campground. Let's get a city-owned homeless shelter. We have 866 homeless children. That's a problem. It's not something to be proud of. The 866 kids who are homeless, they're still going to school, so they're still trying hard. They'll keep on trying hard. We got to invest in them. We got to back them. We got to actually give a shit about them. Or they're going to get the biggest lesson of all, really, right? That they will continue to fight and be resilient, and they'll survive, and the people, the elites, the adults, the Dennis Floreses of the world won't give, 2 fucks, an iota of a fuck. They won't give an iota of a fuck. So Gradisar is going to break economic, opportunity with the caviar and the pool boys for the richies, their yachts, and the richie, yuppie shit. Whereas Petco, we could get entrepreneurs in here, preserve the current jobs. I don't know why Gradisar, I just put this at the end. So let's just compare and contrast. I would like to see Nick Gradisar go against Jackie Massey. I would say I probably am edging towards Jackie Massey. I like Janet Wilson, but she seems like she runs to the right a lot, and I don't like that. I don't like that she runs to the right. She's progressive, and I think because when you have an independent mind, Tony Pemberton is liberal too. But when you have an independent mindset, you look at the problem and you say, well, this is it, this is the solution, that's the solution. And unfortunately, that requires, like, you to give a shit. Well, then that's not a conservative issue, right? A homeless shelter, no. Let's have no compassion and spend $700 a day for them, to spend in jail. So I don't know what Gradisar is talking about. We must preserve current jobs here. We should preserve the jobs that are worth preserving. The free market, I think we should allow it to work. And, let's just reorganize ourselves and get ourselves in better positions. So he was talking about the mayor's office needs to know about what's going on. They need to be informed, blah, blah, blah. So he has got politicians speak. He speaks loud and confident so you can hear clearly what Gradisar is saying and what he talks about, but it just comes across as not very genuine. It's not as genuine as when Janet Wilson or when Jackie Massey or when Tony Pemberton speak. When they speak with a sincerity. They speak with an honesty, a genuineness that most other politicians, it's like they don't give a shit. They don't care. So compare and contrast, Jackie Massey, he gives a shit. He gives a damn. And he's more passionate about actually helping the homeless kids than everybody else. Two more things I'll mention. Nick Ayers says he's never seen a prosperous Pueblo, so we don't need to make Pueblo great again. We need to make Pueblo great for the first time. Jackie Massey pointed out that that's proof positive enough right there. Nick Ayers says that it's never been prosperous. Pueblo City has never been prosperous for all the Pueblo people. Never. Never. It has never been prosperous. So if it's never been prosperous, Jackie Massey says that's a systemic institutional issue. You all have failed. You failed. You were supposed to give these kids, the homelessness, I think, the poverty. They failed, but the not having everything. So that's, he says that's an institutional issue. And the people that have been in charge for a long time, they didn't solve that issue. And so therefore, that we need to acknowledge that. This isn't working. We got to do something different. So Jackie Massey, I wasn't surprised. He did a very good job, like he usually does. So right now, confidence is a good thing, but also having the right ideas, having the progressive ideas, and having the will to actually do something about it. So whereas Nick Gradisar has a war on poverty, his whole idea is to bring in economic opportunities, right, with caviar and having pool boys on the yachts. So economic opportunities is what he is saying, but Jackie Massey is saying we need a city-owned homeless shelter. What do the people that don't have houses need? They need a house. They need shelter. That's the fucking solution. So that's my 2 cents on Jackie Massey at the 3rd mayoral forum in June 2018. All right.